be 3 times the legal limit. 0.248 is 3 times the legal limit, which means you weren't just intoxicated, you was drunk.
Enjoy the video. Hit the like button.
Yes, Mr. Lynch?
James Murphy on
Yes.
the 11 o'clock calendar.
Yes.
We're ready to go forward with the plea.
Mr. Murphy, raise your right hand for me. Good morning. Good afternoon. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Murphy, you're before the court on State of Georgia versus James Antoine Murphy, 2022 CR 06639. You're represented by the law firm of Lister, Holt, and Dennis. You're charged with DUI second offense, count 1, DUI less safe, count 2, open container, counts 3, 4, and 5, speeding 16 to 20 miles per hour, count 6, and improper lane change, count 7. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Judge, to count 1, he's going to plead guilty. Count 2 would merge. To count 3, he'll plead guilty. Count 4 would be null pros. Count 5 will be null pros. To count 6, he's going to plead guilty. And then count 7 is null pros pursuant to my understanding of the agreement.
All right. By entering a plea of guilty to counts 1, 3, and 6, count 2 will merge with count 1. Counts 4, 5, and 7 will be null pros. Sir, you give up the right to have a jury trial, trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On June 24th, 2022, officers were conducting traffic enforcement in the area of Clayton County. In the area around 101 Walding Landing Drive in Hampton, Georgia. When officers observed the defendant's vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed, officers caught the vehicle on laser traveling at 64 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. Officers initiated a traffic stop and made contact with the defendant. When they made contact with the defendant, officers could smell the odor of alcohol emanating from the defendant's breath. The defendant also was observed with watery, bloodshot eyes and being unsteady on his feet. The defendant further stepped into traffic and almost got hit by a vehicle. The officer asked the defendant how much he had to drink, and he said 1 beer, then later switching his statement to 2 beers. Later on, switching it again to say that he had 3 beers. Officers asked the defendant if he would participate in standardized field sobriety testing, to which he said no. Officers then began to place the defendant in hand restraints, read the defendant implied consent, to which the defendant agreed. And upon a search vehicle incident to arrest, officers observed 3 open containers of alcohol, which were 2 bottles of Parmesan and a flask. Upon arrival, or once the officers took the defendant or transported the defendant to the jail, they were able to get blood, and the blood was 0.248. The BAC was a 0.248. As to count 1, the state is recommending 12 months to serve 1 day. Credit for the time served. The balance will be probated for the defendant to pay a $500 fine. complete a substance abuse evaluation and follow any recommended treatment, have no drugs or alcohol, and is subject to random screens and tests, and 40 hours of community service. Count 2 will merge. Count 3 is a $200 fine. Count 4 is no price. Count 5 will be no price. Count 6 is a $100 fine, and count 7 will be no price. I'm sorry, Judge, you're muted.
Mr. Lynch?
Judge, we are accepting the court, asking the court to accept the recommendation from the state. Mr. Murphy has been trying to get this case resolved since we last spoke, and we asked the court to accept the state's recommendation.
Okay, questions. So Mr. Murphy's blood was 0.248, and it says DUI second offense. So we're talking about second and 5 or second and 10? What are we talking about?
It's
This is first 10. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ms. Adams.
I'm not sure why I was charged like that. This is his first and 10. He does have three previous ones, or this is his third in life rather. One from 2005 that was adjudicated guilty, and then one from 2001, which was guilty adjudicated. And this would be his third in life.
Mr. Murphy, are we not learning a lesson?
Yes, ma'am.
People say yes, ma'am, but here's the problem. Mr. Murphy, you've been before the court at least on these types of cases at 3 times. And I know the prevailing thought process is, well, I haven't, those are old cases. Not to me. DUIs don't become old cases ever. And the reason is because if the pattern doesn't stop and you continue, even if we catch you every 3 to 5 years, it means there's a lot of times we don't catch you. And let me just tell you, if you were to kill somebody while driving under the influence, there is nothing I can sentence you to that would take the place of you waking up every morning knowing that you took somebody's life because you were not wanting to acknowledge the fact that you have an alcohol problem. Everybody thinks that if they're an alcoholic, it means they got to be falling down drunk. But my view of being an alcoholic is that it brings you before the court, that you are not functioning at optimal levels in your life. This case has brought you did at least one day in jail. But also when you think about the fact that most people overall don't ever get a DUI, you've had 3. And so that scares me because it tells me that you're willing to take the consequences and still be 3 times the legal limit. 0.248 is 3 times the legal limit. Which means you weren't just intoxicated, you was drunk. And a lot of times somebody who's 3 times the legal limit, they can't even stand up. But because you were driving and able to move forward, and you've probably built up a tolerance. That indicates to me that you've built up a tolerance so that you could literally be 3 times the legal limit. So my concern is you're not learning from your experiences with respect to DUI.
Actually, I have, Your Honor. Can I permission to speak?
Yes, I'm waiting.
Your Honor, I take full responsibility for what I did. And just that day, we were actually just finished celebrating after finished building our building, and got with the superintendents, and I knew better.
So I get it, Mr. Murphy, but here's the problem though. This is third, like 2001, 2005. Okay, so this has been a big gap in between, but you know what the consequences are. You've been through it 2 times before. And for me, this feels like you just will take this as a bump in the road and you may end up here again. And that's scary to me.
No, I'm not coming back. I promise you that.
You probably said that the last 2 times. What is the difference? What is going to make the difference, Mr. Murphy?
This house right here, I just purchased in December. I just bought me a new house.
What's your point?
I got grandkids. That's my point. I got a whole family to take care of and grandkids. So,
how old is your
they
youngest grandchild?
She just was born in December.
Okay, and how old is your oldest one?
She just turned 12 the other day, Sunday.
Okay, well, you had grandchildren at the time that you had this offense.
Right.
In fact, you had grandchildren probably both times. So I'm really confused as to how buying a house and having grandchildren, which you already had at least one grandchild the last time, or when this offense happened. Sir,
they weren't staying with me at the time. I said they weren't staying with me at the time.
Yeah, but I don't care about all that, Mr. Murphy. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something affirmative that you are doing to make sure that this doesn't happen again. If you told me, well, I've been in AA and I've, got a sponsor and I've made 60 days clean or a year clean or 3 years clean, that to me is something that you are affirmatively doing to make sure that this does not happen again. But what you're telling me is, well, I got too much to lose. Well, every time you've done this, you've had too much to lose. Every single time. I don't care what it was, you had something to lose.
Yes, ma'am.
This time you just have something different to lose. But for me, it didn't matter the last 2 times. So it didn't matter this time that you had a grandchild, and probably more than one. But those are not persuasive to me. This is what I'm gonna do. And y'all can dither about it or whatever, but he's going to do one AA or NA or one community support meeting per week, in addition to everything else we have going on.
Mr. Murphy, we can talk about that outside of the presence of the court, but I would recommend just accepting that and moving forward with this plea. I think would be the best course of action. If we need to talk about that outside of this venue, we can, but I believe that that's probably in everyone's best interest. Are you okay going forward with that one additional condition that the judge is imposing, or do we need to take a break and talk about it?
Nah, let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, thank you.
All
Judge,
right.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Murphy, as to count 1, I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 1 day, credit for time served. Balance will be probated for you to pay a fine in the amount of $500. It's going to be closer to $1,000 with the surcharges because of the enhanced amounts for a DUI. You'll do a substance abuse evaluation and any treatment that the evaluator may order. You're to have no alcohol or illicit drugs during the course of your probation, and you're subject to random screens for alcohol and drugs. You'll do 40 hours of community service and show proof of having completed the 40 hours of community service. You'll also do the risk reduction course and show proof of having completed that, and you will attend 1 community support meeting per week for the cessation of alcohol and illicit drugs. And you will show proof of having attended each of those meetings. And sir, if you fail to attend the meetings on a regular basis and show proof of that, then you'll be back before me and we'll have a different kind of conversation. The quickest way to get rearrested or to come before the court is to fail to report to your probation reports. You must report as directed, and to not do any of the the special conditions ordered by the court. If you have difficulty taking care of business and doing what I ordered you to do, then please speak to your probation officers. They're here to try and make sure that you successfully complete probation, but you have got to report as directed, and you have got to complete the sentences that I've ordered you to do. Count 3 will run concurrent with count 1. That's going to be $298 with the surcharges. Count 6 will run concurrent with count 1, and that will be $153 total with the surcharges. I'm going to put you in a breakout room with the probation expert. They're going to get you signed up for probation. Ask any questions that you may have regarding your current situation, your work situation, your living situation, anything that would affect your ability to successfully complete probation. Make sure you ask those questions of our probation expert. Otherwise, you will get signed up with probation and continue until you have completed it. Okay? Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. And I don't care if you have the ability to attend one of the meetings virtually or in person. I don't care. I just want you to attend. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Miss James. Miss James is going to be in breakout room number 7, and Mr. Murphy, I'm going to put you in breakout room number 7. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have to come back to the main room. Just make sure you do what you're directed to do by Miss James.
10-4. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And think about that grandbaby every time you get behind the wheel of a car. All right, ladies and gentlemen.